Welcome everybody to my show called Gangsta in the Kitchen. Basically, I'm gonna teach you 3 or 4 steps on how to be a gangster in the kitchen. Okay, today on my show, we're gonna start doing something that's very near to my heart. It comes from my mother's family. It's basically every Cuban has their own version of this. It's called Arroz Con Pollo. Basically, it's chicken and rice. We're gonna use a couple ingredients like green bell peppers, nicely chopped, some diced garlic, some red bell pepper, some diced onions, a couple of chicken bouillon cubes. You could use like about a cup or 2 cups of chicken stock if you want. This is optional. A can of mixed vegetables. I like to put it in it because I like the texture. A nice 16-ounce can of a nice American beer. No other beer is gonna work on this unless you use American beer. There's something in the hops that brings out the flavors of everything. About a tablespoon of white vinegar, salt and pepper to taste. Tablespoon of tomato paste. Of course, almost forgot. Whole chicken, quartered, salt and pepper and seasoning. And the star of the show, there can't be any chicken and rice without this. Some rice. Any type of rice that you want. You're gonna have to cook it based on the on whatever it says on the package. But it'll be good. And my secret weapon, mostly they're gonna in any Cuban kitchen they're gonna use something to color the rice. Usually they'll use like a coloring agent. I'm not a fan of coloring agents, so I'm gonna use this seasoned packet, Sazon Goya, with saffron. The good stuff. 3 packets. And 3 cups of water. Alright, we're gonna start frying the chicken. Basically what I'm gonna do is crust it on all sides just to seal in the juices and get it started on the cooking. Because remember, the chicken's gonna be going inside with rice. One little trick I'm gonna show you is how do you know your oil's ready to start frying without having to touch it or play with it. Basically, it's a little trick you use with this little wooden spoon you have here. This is what we're gonna do. Basically, you see how it's forming a little ring around the bottom of the spoon and it's sizzling. It's ready to start frying. Let's start adding the chicken. I'm gonna start first with the legs. That's what you want to hear. As soon as you put the chicken in, you don't want to mess with it or fuss with it, because you want an evening browning. Remember, you cook the thighs last, because I want evening browning just like that. I remember this particular recipe because my mother, when we were kids, used to cook this a lot for us. My brothers and sisters basically grew up learning how to cook from my mother. My mother was a really good chef, known and she had a lot of restaurants under her belt. This is basically her favorite dish that she used to love to make. This was our comfort food at home. Now let's start by using a mirepoix, which is basically celery, onions, and garlic. All right, and let's begin. I want to add the garlic right now, but I want to wait until these vegetables get a little bit more tender. Turn out better when it gets tender. You don't want garlic to get brown on you. It'll taste bitter. And trust me, you don't want bitter garlic in your food. Believe me, you really don't want bitter garlic in your food. Basically, what I'm doing with these vegetables is picking up whatever goodies the chicken left inside the pan. It's gonna help lift it up, but the liquids are gonna help even more. And now it's about time to add the garlic. Vampires don't like garlic. Shh. You can really smell the garlic now. There's nothing better than garlic, onions, and bell peppers. Trust me, nothing. You're gonna let this cook for at least 2 minutes till the vegetables start getting tender. It's best that way because you want it soft when you have a complete product. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. 1 tablespoon. Kids, I want to give you one little tip. Please, when you're using raw chicken, wash your hands in between cutting and actually using it. You really don't want salmonella into your food. Now that I add the tomato paste, it's called sofrito, which is basically tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and garlic. That's the base of any Cuban food that you're gonna use as a sofrito. Any good Cuban cook is gonna use that. Everybody has their own version. I was taught this way, and this is the way I'm gonna do it till probably the day I die. Every recipe that comes to this has a different version. I've learned to do it differently every single time, but this is basically the base of this dish. Alright, now when you see this at this stage where the tomato is nicely incorporated into the nice oil, the bell peppers, the onions, and the garlic, you're gonna start adding salt and pepper. Because remember, this doesn't come seasoned all the time. So I'm gonna add a little bit now. Always remember to start seasoning while you're cooking, because you really don't want to feed your family bland food. Pepper is optional. I use it because I like to use pepper. Most Cubans won't use this. They'll use it in other things, but I like to use it. It gives you a lot more flavor. Alright. That's how you want it. At this point, I'm going to add the vegetables. Again, like I said in the beginning, optional. I like vegetables. I want to put more vegetables in my kids' diet. Originally, it doesn't come with vegetables. We're going to add the 2 bouillon cubes. This is where the good stuff happens. When you start adding liquids, the bouillon cubes, and again, the beer. Like I said before, an American beer is the best way to go. There's something in those hops that gives you what you need for this type of dish. Simply because the chicken is very greasy. It has a lot of fat. And another reason why we fry it was to release that fat and crisp up the skin. A whole 16 ounce of beer. Now you're gonna do what it's called in the chefy world is deglazing the pan. In this case, deglazing the pot. In some recipes, they'll use a white wine, a dry white wine, or something that's called vino seco. You could use that. I like to use beer. My mom used it. If it was good for my mom and she was a great chef, it's gonna be good for me too. Here comes some of the magic. The little packets, which makes the rice yellow. What I like about it is it's not food coloring, and it has saffron, which here comes the trick on that. Saffron is very expensive. Not everybody has the money to buy saffron. This little packet comes with saffron, and it basically comes in a box. You're gonna pay $1.25, $1.50, $1.75, and it comes with saffron. You know what? It's really good. It's a natural way of adding color to the rice. I use 3 packets. I want to make sure the rice becomes yellow. Now, I'm going to add the chicken before I add the other. Basically, those 16 ounces of beer, it's going to give you about 2 cups of liquid. We're going to use 3 cups of rice. So, I'm going to add another cup of water. And another one, because remember it's always 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. At this point, you should taste the seasoning in this. Because remember, however you season the liquid, it's going to be seasoning the chicken and the rice. Basically, whatever flavor you got here is going to be the flavor that's going to go into the rice and then that chicken. So, I'm going to taste it just to see how it goes. Perfect. Now I'm adding the chicken. Another tip, rice, if there's other stuff going into the rice, in this case it's going to be chicken and vegetables, always remember rice needs space to cook. So if you're adding more condiments into it, you got to add more liquid. So I'm going to add another cup of water. That's going to help cook the rice and give it enough room to cook. Because remember, rice expands when it starts cooking. So, I'm going to let this come to a boil. Put it up to at least medium high. Let this get happy like Chef Emerald Lagasse would say. And when we come back from these commercials, you're going to like this. Welcome back to Gangsta in the Kitchen. Okay, remember, kiddos, you can visit me at my blog, gangstainthekitchen.blogspot.com, or visit me on Twitter at CookingLife14. Okay, always remember this. This is one tip. You really can't go without it. You want all the flavor you can get out of the chicken and all the vegetables that are in there. You're gonna want this to simmer for at least 15 to 20 minutes before adding your rice. Okay. Why I say that? You want to get all the flavor you can from it. So that's probably the best way you can do that. That's my idea, what I think is best. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's my way. You should do it like that. All right. This has been simmering for at least 15 or 16 minutes now. I'm gonna add the rice. These 3 cups of rice I got here. I got brown rice simply because I want to cook a little healthier. And that's why I'm using brown rice. I mean, you can use whatever rice you want. Best rice for this is jasmine, mahatma, even pre-boiled rice. You know, you can use for this. This is brown rice that is pre-boiled. I washed it for a bit, so now I'm gonna add it. Try to have it evenly. I'm gonna stir in the rice. Try to get in between the chicken. Let it get nice and happy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this come to a boil. So I'm gonna put it up in a little bit more higher setting. I'm gonna let it come to a boil. After it comes to a boil, I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer. Cover it with the lid a little bit open and let it cook for at least 45 minutes. You can go 35, 45. Basically, it's gonna be when all the liquid is gone and your rice is nice and plump. And I'll see you then. Well, it's been cooking now for about 45 minutes. It's about done. And as you can see, I already decorated it a little bit. Okay, it's about done anyways, and I'm about to present it to you. So Let's see how it looks on the plate. Oh, nice and moist. There it is. Arroz con pollo, my mommy style. I hope you like this recipe. It's been in our family for years, and I hope it's in your family for years to come. Alright, if you like my recipes, come and visit me at my blog at gangstainthekitchen.blogspot.com, or you can visit me on Twitter, join, and come to Cooking is Life 14. This was done in memory of my mom today. She would have been 56. Her name was Zaida Garcia. She passed away several years ago. And in her memory, I made this dish. Thank you. And again, see you guys soon. And I hope you follow me for more recipes and tips.